Would you prefer to be recognized more for your film career or for your political career?
Why limit it? I mean, I always say to people, why would we do one or the other? I mean, I think that on the end, there will be people that will remember me for the environmental work that I've done, for the infrastructure stuff that we have built in California, for having pushed, stem cell research and getting the initiative passed, and political reform to have the open primaries now in California, and the redistricting reform, so we get rid of gerrymandering in California. All of the stuff that was done, they will remember me for that. Others will say, oh, he was the greatest bodybuilder, and he led the fitness crusade, and he made he created all these gymnasiums all over the world that now we can work out. And others will be talking about the movies and about Terminator, and will repeat lines, I'll be back, and hasta la vista, baby, and stuff like that.
Get the people that,
Yeah, get to the chopper! So, I mean, so everyone will have their own little spin and take on what I was about and what I am about and all this stuff. In the meantime, I love, doing my movies right now, and to do also the Schwarzenegger Institute at USC that we have, and and I hope that Henry and we can work together on other projects in the future. So it's all good. Only in America. Remember, America is the land of opportunity. It's the greatest country in the world. None of this would have happened.
Well, you're definitely the poster man for America, the land of opportunity. You mentioned a number of your political passions, reforms that you put together. And I recently read your op-ed for Washington Post, which was about Indiana and about the governor of Indiana and the law that he was trying to create that was going to sort of limit people who could participate in business over there. Basically, it was a homophobic law, essentially. But everything that you've just said and that op-ed, I have to say, you are a registered Republican. In so many ways, you sound like a closet Democrat. Is it possible that you may lean more towards Democrats these days?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that the Democratic Party has done a good job in grabbing some of those issues, and so that you think the Democratic issues, these are people's issues. I don't see the environment as a Democratic issue, as a Republican issue.
But so many Republicans do.
But no, remember Teddy Roosevelt. He was one of the greatest environmentalists to put most of the land aside so that it is protected, that no one can build on it. It always will be protected. He was a Republican. I mean, Ronald Reagan, who created the EPA. Nixon, they created EPA on the federal level. I mean, there's all kinds of great Republicans that have done great things, and there's a lot of Republicans that don't believe in it, in global warming. But remember that this is why I always say it's a matter of communicating. The global warming goes sometimes over people's heads. What does not go with people's heads is when you say, we are right now killing 7 million people in the world because of pollution. Do we want to continue with that pollution, or do we want to go the other way? Then all of a sudden, Republicans and Democrats say, whoa, 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 I want to stop this pollution. You see, you got to communicate differently of what is it that people really care about. They care about jobs. The green economy is a huge job creator. In California, 10 times more jobs are created in the green sector than in any other sector. So those are the issues that we should talk about, because Republicans always would talk about global warming, how this is a hoax, blah, blah, blah. Let them say that. But in the meantime, they want to protect the environment as much as anyone else, and they want to get rid of pollution as anyone as much as the Democrats do and anyone else.
But you mentioned your disappointment in Washington gridlock, and the first member of the Republican Party that we've seen step up to try to get nominated for the presidency is Ted Cruz, who's responsible for the government shutdown in his opposition to the Affordable Care Act. Getting really punditry right now, sorry. And it's interesting to me that this is the first person to step up, someone who tried to enforce Washington gridlock or use gridlock to stop something that we're seeing is actually working, that the Affordable Care Act is actually working across the country, and states that opposed it are now saying, no, sorry, we oppose. It's working.
Well, look, this is a long discussion. First of all, to shut down the government is not the worst thing. What is the worst thing is to spend more money than we have. Because remember, in the last 6 years, we've gone from $10 trillion to $18 trillion, and eventually we'll be $20 trillion dead. So this is all fake money when we talk about the stimulated economy and all this stuff. It's fake. So at one point, we have to pay it back. Yeah. So what Ted Cruz said was, let's stop right now. So that's not a bad idea. The only thing is that you have to spin it the right way so people understand it. Most people don't understand it, so it's very difficult to do. But the fact of the matter is, the idea of telling government we cannot continue spending more money than we have is a good idea. This is the Republican in me. I don't care what anyone says. It is not only a Republican issue, it should be a people's issue. And most of this stuff is a people's issue. Education is a people's issue. The environment is a people's issue. Good government is a people's issue. Getting rid of gerrymandering is a people's issue. These are all people's issues. It's just that political parties make it their business to fight over those things and say, this is Democratic, this is Republican, and you are no good, and you are no good. And all this. It's terrible. We are all Americans. They should in Washington sit down together and solve those problems rather than just always arguing and screaming and fighting.